Hypergamy for me is a white woman.
A what? Say it again?
A Caucasian woman.
Welcome to Rewrite the Narrative, where it is okay to be curious. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for future video uploads, and drop a comment. This is actually my first video where I will attempt to do a review and give my live reaction. This is a video from Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. He's a content creator who is red pill. I think I might do a few reviews on the different pills, the red, the blue, the pink, the purple, whichever pill. I think I want to understand the pills better. Red pill are men who are aware of female nature, and blue pill supposedly don't understand the woman. As far as I know, you're either wise or you're simple. Simple as that. Alright, let's take a look at this one. It's why black men don't want to date black women, and these women are giving their piece. Let's get into it.
Hypergamy for me is a white woman.
A what? Say it again?
A Caucasian woman.
Uh-huh.
If you want to talk about hypergamy from the male perspective, that is 1000% what that means to me. And I've seen it in my grad school, I've seen it in community, I've seen it over and over again, that the status of a man, if he's going for status, that it can't look like us. We're successful, we've reached our prime in terms of our careers, but yet we're just not good enough.
I don't think a man will ever care about y'all status. Like, we don't care if you're Oprah or if we come across you working at McDonald's. What we do care about is y'all attitudes.
Facts. All right. So this woman think that hypergamy applies to men also. Hypergamy is a term in the red pill community where women level up. They use men to level up. So these women are explaining that men actually use women to level up also. And the ultimate way to level up for a man is to marry or to date a white woman, not a Chinese woman, not a Hispanic woman. Anything short of a white woman is not hypergamy. And MTR is saying that no, that's not correct. We just need women who have good character. In my opinion, hypergamy does not apply to men. Men really cannot level up through women. You can change your status by dating a black woman, a white woman. It doesn't matter. If a woman is a good woman and she have vision and she have virtue and value, then she would actually instill or help you to become more valuable. And that is how I would say that is what I think a man really would try to get from dating a woman, any woman at all. I would say that a black man would date a white woman because he can.
Let's keep it funky.
So are we saying
So are we aggressive?
No, wait. So what are we saying about a non-African American woman's attitude that would seemingly make them more attractive than an African American woman?
I think what's really sexy about women is to have a strong degree of femininity. And there's components of that have been lost within our community.
So I'm seeing here that they're trying to understand. They're trying to understand. If not, what makes a white woman more attractive, so to speak? So what makes a white woman more desirable to a black man than a black woman? And he's trying to explain that, hey, there's a certain degree of femininity that a white woman display. And these women are obviously confused by it. And even like myself, I might be confused by it also. And the reason why I might be confused by this is because the white woman does not respect the white men as much as they would want to display. They would somehow show a certain amount of respect to a black man, and they would also see that black man as like an exotic beast, so to speak. Because let's put this into perspective. A white man is fundamentally a family man. And we would probably say that black men are not necessarily family men. However, these white women somehow help them to become better family men. That's interesting, right? And the reason for this is because some of these men are allowed to be men. MTR tried to explain that, hey, the combativeness that the black woman display is very unattractive. It's not sexy. But these women are confused. They're confused by it. Let's continue.
But why isn't strength and femininity the same? Like, why can't someone being strong? Why does someone being strong negate her femininity?
I think you could be
strong
in your femininity.
Yeah.
I think a man doesn't want to be dating a woman with masculine traits.
She asks why does a woman being strong negates her femininity? Because she's trying to use masculine strength. That is the short answer. A woman trying to use masculine strength to validate her strength is actually negates her femininity. Because in my opinion, from my perspective, a masculine woman is an aggressive woman and a masculine man is an aggressive man. And that aggression may be something that is projected or is something that is just obvious, right? A man that is muscular can be considered to be aggressive, right? He just have the look of an aggressive person. A woman that is argumentative, very soft, very feminine in her looks, but her ways and how she speaks is very masculine. It's very combative. She's built for combat. It is unappealing, and I think that is what he's trying to get at there. The combativeness, your ability to just keep combating over and over. It's not appealing. Keep it moving.
What are masculine traits?
Yeah.
Masculine trait
Those
is
are also a relative, but go ahead.
Say it again.
Those are relative. I mean, like, who made up masculine trait? Like, who made up that definition?
Biology.
Because there is a spectrum.
See, she asks what is masculine traits, but she don't care. She don't need to know because what? She won't give it up even if she found out. In my opinion, again, this women need to be tender. They need to be tender. We're not saying that they need to be fragile, but they need to be tender. Example where Samson and Delilah. Samson being the strongest man in the world was like impenetrable by other men, but a woman was able to get inside of his heart and destroy him. That's her tenderness. That was her seductive charm and cunningness. These women are obviously very cunning, but far from being tender.
There's non-binary. I mean, this can get so deep because if you identify as masculine or male, you may not identify with the traits that come along with that. You can be a transgender. It's such a spectrum there that I can't.
Talking about cunning, right? You'll see that instead of conceding and said, okay, I understand where you're coming from, they immediately shift the conversation to a state of confusion. And like, it's almost like smoke and mirrors. Very cunning, very intelligent. You see that they are confusing this guy, MTR. He's obviously overwhelmed. Not saying that he's not doing a good job, but you can see the cunning side of these women coming out. And this is how a woman can be feminine and dangerous at the same time. Imagine a woman like this being on your side. Imagine a woman like this fighting for you. Very unlikely at this point because these women are trying to win. But imagine them trying to win for you.
Say that, oh well, I'm a feminine woman.
I think we have to level set for the viewing audience.
Well, let's
level set
okay.
So we know what we're talking about, because I definitely think in 2019 masculine and feminine, those definitions are super fluid and they are definitely not the traditional definitions of masculinity.
It seems like you guys got triggered off of that. So let's talk about it real quick, because we need a level set, because I think what the left has done is said, listen, we're all equal. we're all the same.
There you go.
There's so many instances.
They would just inject a little confusion, and then they will try to throw him off. They try to throw him off center. They mess with the rhythm. They said, hey, you are trying to be traditional, but we are no longer traditional. But they're more eloquent, so it's not that obvious. He is very intelligent, clearly, but he is up against two women who are trying to win. This is dangerous. He can't win. He'll never be able to say the right thing. Never.
Yes. Okay. There's so many instances that I see, and I don't know if you know, I don't watch TV, I don't watch news like that, but there's so many instances that I've seen of like, why is this happening? When they try to combine genders into one sport, right? You get transsexual fighters fighting women who were born a man, has man DNA, man genetics, man biology, man
So you mean like assigned at birth? They were assigned male at birth?
And because...
Okay, again the confusion. She's trying to make sure she throw him off center. She said assigned at birth. In biology, you can't assign a gender to a person. A person is what they are.
And there's examples of how we need to innovate and think through societal structures, norms, right? Which is another component of why I think like marriage doesn't work going into 2020. That'll be a totally other video. We'll get back in there.
Had this conversation. We have to come back for that because I think you triggered me then, and I think we ended up.
But thinking through the idea of femininity and masculinity, I do think that there's some traditional roots. If you want to call back marriage, there's some traditional roots of having a head and a rib. And I know you guys just went to church today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there's some so if you take a black woman who has masculine traits and you
traditional masculine traits.
Listen, I don't want to be in competition.
Because here's the thing. I think sports is.
I don't want to be in competition.
I love your conversation about sports, and I think that's valid. But I think when we get back to the interplay between male and female and what that means in a relationship, like physical stuff, we're not talking about. What we're talking about is the ability to communicate. What we're talking about is the ability to say no, the ability to stand in my truth, the ability to allow you to lead, but the ability also to not let you walk all over me. I think I think there's a delicate balance, and I think that some men might feel like it's masculine, but at the end of the day, it's really just
it's a sliding scale, which is why
a balanced individual.
It's a really hard conversation. It's a really hard conversation to have if you don't have specific examples, because we all have.
No, but tell me. Tell me. No, let's go back to a non-African American woman being more attracted to an African American woman because of her femininity, right?
But there's examples of men just deselecting out of the culture because they come up to what we've talked about earlier. Like, I'm just trying to be a nice guy. I'm just trying to be a good guy, and I'm treating you well, but you're going for the Chad and the Tyrones within your early 20s. And I'm sitting over here, I'm focused on me, I'm sitting to improve me, but you have chose to go with the total opposite that will never treat you right.
Sure, so that's a
But I've been a good
And this is where female logic comes in, right? He would highlight something that is true. And instead of saying, well, that is true, just say that is true and keep it moving and then go to the next point. They start to become combative. And they would say, hey, that's my choice. Yes, you get to make a choice. This is the 21st century, we get to make a choice. It's a choice that is very expensive. It is very taxing on the heart, the mind, the soul. But it is still their choice, right? And it's a guy's duty to fix it, which is kind of a very heavy burden for anybody. You can imagine being responsible for the happiness of another person, even when you haven't figured out your own happiness. Let's keep it going.
To you throughout your early 20s, and you didn't show me respect.
So how are we acting aggressive?
Right, I'm trying to think. Like, you're talking about a choice that we made.
Because you're telling me that a white woman is essentially submissive.
Wait. Start over again.
So, okay, so are you saying that, what was our response to you? Because was a white woman more submissive to you? Or, like, what was our response? Because you're not telling me, like, how we acted in the context of, like, you're leading, I'm making more money than you, I'm African American, and I have no say-so in the decisions that we make in our household.
There you go.
Like, what is the scenario?
Value. It's all about value. Again, a woman really think that a woman need to bring something to the table, but they want to decide what they bring to the table, and that is where it becomes frustrating. If a man is capable of bringing money to the table and he is capable of feeding the family, but the woman decide that, hey, this is the guy that I want you, but I also want you to understand that I make more money than you. I make more money than you. You make money, but I make more, so I get to make the decisions. She wants to decide what work for them. If the guy is already making more money than her, she may submit to him because he's making more money. How is that even a relationship? She's saying that the value system is based on, she's a black woman, she's more educated than the average American woman, she makes more money than the guy that she's dating, therefore what? If she have a set of standard, a set of rules that she lives by, and the guy also have a set of standard and a set of rules that he lives by, then he will pursue what he wants. If it is a woman who is more submissive, which I interpret to be a woman that trusts him and allow herself to know him, then he's going to pursue that. And if it's in the form of a white woman or a Hispanic or a Chinese woman, that's probably what he will do. I don't think that the education that they talk about so much is as important, especially because even after being the most educated group in America, they are still the least desired employees. Think about that. Let that sink in. Which means that they are the best group at buying a degree. And I'm not saying that they went there and they purchased a degree with like finances. Here, give me a degree. They literally buy a degree program and they finance their way through that degree. They are the best at buying degree, but they are not the most desired group of employee. Now let that sink in. Again, this is a review from, it was just interesting, but I thought that MTR he's onto something with these women coming on and doing this interview, but he could have been a little bit more cunning. These women are extremely smart. I'll drop the link in the description just so that you could watch the entire video for yourself, and then you could probably enjoy the interview, because it's a good interview. It's a good interview, especially if you are one that is able to sift through this intelligent battle, because it is a battle. This is not just an interview. This is women trying to win and a man just trying to hold his ground, but they won. No disrespect though, they won. Rewrite the narrative. Like, share and subscribe.